Palantir Technologies has officially been announced to be added to the NASDAQ-100, a prestigious index that tracks the performance of the top 100 largest non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange. That's right, Palantir is now hobnobbing with tech royalty like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. Think of it as moving from the minor leagues to the majors, or better yet, like getting invited to the Met Gala of the stock market. But what does this mean for investors, and more importantly, can Palantir stock hit $200 by the end of the year? What is the NASDAQ-100? The NASDAQ-100 is the benchmark for tech and innovation-focused companies. It's a collection of the biggest and most influential companies trading on the NASDAQ. If the S&P 500 is the Avengers of the stock market, the NASDAQ-100 is the Justice League, with each company bringing something unique and powerful to the table. Here's what makes the NASDAQ-100 a big deal. Prestige. Being part of the NASDAQ-100 is like earning a Michelin star in the world of stocks. It signals that a company is big, influential, and worth watching. Liquidity. Funds and ETFs that track the NASDAQ-100, like the Invesco QQQ Trust, QQQ, will now be buying up Palantir shares. Translation. A tsunami of institutional money is about to roll in. Market exposure. Palantir will now be front and center in financial news, drawing in more retail investors and analysts who can't resist a shiny new addition. Why should Palantir join the NASDAQ-100? Joining the NASDAQ-100 is like being handed a golden ticket to the tech world's Hall of Fame. It shows that Palantir's growth, innovation, and market performance have finally been recognized. Investors who were skeptical about Palantir's long-term potential might now take a second look. When Palantir becomes part of the NASDAQ-100, every ETF and index fund that tracks it will need to buy Palantir shares. That's not just a trickle of demand, it's a waterfall. Imagine a line of investors at the Palantir stock window, each carrying sacks of money and yelling, "I'll take more, please." For years, some critics called Palantir a speculative AI play or a hype stock. But joining the NASDAQ-100 silences the doubters. If NASDAQ thinks Palantir is worthy of being among its elite, maybe the critics should rethink their stance. What could propel Palantir to $200? 1. NASDAQ-100 momentum. Being part of the NASDAQ-100 will attract new investors, both retail and institutional. This wave of buying pressure could send Palantir's stock soaring in the short term. 2. AI boom. Palantir isn't just riding the AI wave, it's driving it. From government contracts to commercial applications, its software platforms are leading the charge. As the AI market expands, so does Palantir's growth potential. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you've commented, let's continue. 3. Strategic partnerships. Palantir's recent partnerships, like its Space Force and healthcare giants, showcase its ability to innovate and adapt. Investors love companies that can dominate multiple sectors. 4. FOMO. Fear of missing out is real, and nothing triggers it like a stock that's already up triple digits for the year. Add NASDAQ-100 inclusion to the mix, and the FOMO-fueled buying frenzy could push Palantir to new highs. Let's imagine the life of a Palantir investor after the NASDAQ-100 announcement. Morning, you wake up to news that another ETF has added Palantir to its holdings. The stock is already up 5% in pre-market trading. You sip your cocktail with a smug grin. Midday, analysts on CNBC are debating whether Palantir can become the next Nvidia. Jim Cramer is yelling, "Buy! Buy! Buy!" Meanwhile, retail investors are flooding Reddit with $200 price predictions. Evening, you check your portfolio before bed. Palantir is up another 10%, and you start Googling yachts for beginners. Challenges ahead, why $200 might be a stretch. As exciting as Palantir's NASDAQ-100 debut is, we have to stay grounded. Hitting $200 by year's end is a tall order, and there are potential roadblocks. If the broader market takes a nosedive, even the most promising stocks can't escape the fallout. A slowdown in tech momentum could temper Palantir's gains. Critics argue that Palantir's current valuation is already stretched. A run to $200 would push its price-to-earnings ratio into the stratosphere, raising questions about sustainability. Palantir's success depends on delivering results. If it stumbles on key contracts or growth slows, investor enthusiasm could wane. Let's not forget how ridiculous the stock market can be. 1 minute, analysts are calling Palantir the Tesla of AI. The next, they're fretting over its valuation and calling for a pullback. Being added to the NASDAQ-100 isn't just a one-time event, it's a stepping stone to even greater things. Here's what the future might hold. With its innovative AI solutions and growing customer base, Palantir has the potential to keep delivering strong results. The NASDAQ-100 inclusion is just the beginning. Palantir's international ambitions could unlock new revenue streams. Imagine Palantir powering data analytics for governments and corporations worldwide. As the AI market matures, Palantir could solidify its position as a leader in enterprise software. Its platforms could become as essential as Microsoft Office or Amazon Web Services. What's next for Palantir in the NASDAQ-100? Now that Palantir has joined the NASDAQ-100, it's not just retail investors obsessing over the stock anymore. Institutional investors, think hedge funds, pension funds, and massive asset managers, are now obliged to take Palantir seriously. These investors typically avoid companies seen as too risky or volatile, but NASDAQ-100 membership signals Palantir's arrival as a reliable, growth-oriented tech powerhouse. Imagine a pension fund manager sitting in their office, sifting through potential NASDAQ-100 investments. They see Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA and think, safe bets. Then they see Palantir, glance at its AI-driven innovations, and go, this one's intriguing. Let's allocate a few billion. It's this kind of institutional support that could help Palantir build a robust base around its stock price. One thing people forget is how much passive investing drives stock market performance these days. ETFs like QQQ, which mirror the NASDAQ-100, automatically include Palantir now. That means every time someone buys shares of QQQ, Palantir indirectly gets a boost. Passive investors unknowingly become shareholders of Palantir, a sneaky yet genius way for the company to gain long-term holders. Could Palantir's NASDAQ-100 entry pave the way to $500? Alright, let's talk long-term. Hitting $200 by the end of this year might be a moonshot, but $500 within the next decade? Now we're talking possibilities. Here's why it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. 1. AI is eating the world. The AI revolution is no longer on the horizon, it's happening right now. Palantir is uniquely positioned to dominate this space because it doesn't just sell AI tools, it integrates them into critical systems for governments, defense, healthcare, and beyond. As companies and nations double down on AI, Palantir could become the go-to provider for mission-critical applications. Think of it like AWS, Amazon Web Services, in its early days. AWS didn't just grow, it became the backbone of the Internet. Similarly, Palantir could become the backbone of decision-making across industries. 2. Expanding market opportunities. With its recent partnerships and contracts, like those with Space Force and major commercial players, Palantir is diversifying its revenue streams. It's not just a government contractor anymore, it's a multi-sector AI juggernaut. Each new contract adds another layer to its growth story. 3. Comparisons to tech giants. People used to laugh when Tesla or NVIDIA had seemingly outrageous price predictions, too. Now look at them. Tesla surpassed $1 trillion in market cap, and NVIDIA is the king of AI hardware. Palantir might not make EVs or GPUs, but its data solutions could prove just as indispensable to the future of AI and automation. Why retail investors love Palantir. There's a reason why Palantir has such a devoted retail following. It's not just about the technology or the stock's potential, it's about the narrative. Palantir feels like the ultimate underdog-turned-champion story. Palantir's inclusion in the NASDAQ-100 could be a watershed moment for the company and its investors. It's a validation of its growth, a magnet for new investment, and a symbol of its bright future. While hitting $200 by year's end might be a moonshot, Palantir's long-term potential is undeniable. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, now is the time to pay attention to Palantir. With its innovative technology, prestigious new status, and the unstoppable momentum of the AI revolution, this company is aiming for the stars, and maybe even beyond. It's our privilege that God, the creator of heaven and earth, will bless us abundantly, make us the head and not the tail if we love him and obey his commandments. Please acknowledge him in your plans and he will direct your paths. Proverbs 3 verses 5-6. If you have watched the whole video until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. There are 3 more important steps to build wealth. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you highly motivate me to continue bringing to you educative and transformative videos every week. Do not miss out on our future videos full of knowledge and wisdom. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today, your support is appreciated so much. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Thank you, see you in the next video by God's grace. We love you, and blessings to you.